one new project we're going to be working on is our tissue box. On our tissue box, what we're going to do is we're going to design a tissue box using standard wood that we could find at a home improvement store. The wood we're going to be using is a 1x6 piece of wood that we'll actually use to make our tissue box, and then some old scrap plywood for the top of the actual tissue box. Now, what's going to happen is we need to do a design that's going to go on the front or back of the tissue box cover that we are designing. I'm going to use Adobe Illustrator, as you see here. Now, I'm going to go ahead and create a new file so I can start the process of using my interlocking initial logo. So I'm going to call this one Tissue Box Design Logo. Now let's change that. Let's make it Logo Design. Tissue Box Logo Design. Okay. Now we're going to set up a custom size for this particular drawing that we're going to create. Now our tissue box, I use my ruler or my scale. Across the front of it, on the what we call the long side or the front side, it's 6 1/4 inches. So that's going to be 6.25 of an inch. Make sure we set the inches over here. And we're going to go ahead and set ourselves to landscape. Let's go ahead and change that again to 6.25. And then the height of the actual design is going to be, it looks like 5 inches plus 1/4, plus 3/4 of an inch. So we're going to say 5.75 inches. Okay, so that'll be the height, and this will be the width of our tissue box logo that we're going to create. So we hit OK. Now, so this is going to come up into a working space here in Illustrator. Now, just a few things about Illustrator real quick. As you notice over here, this is your tool panels on the left-hand side. And over here are your flyout panels that you're going to use often, particularly this one right here called your layers panel. Okay, we're going to go ahead and collapse that by collapsing this. This is our lines, our stroke panels here, where you can change the stroke or the thickness of the lines that you draw in Illustrator. We're going to go ahead and collapse that. Now, since this is our first little design, what we're going to do is going to use some of the control keys to kind of zoom around. Control 0 lets us zoom to the extent of our design. Now, if we use our F key, which as you see here on your keyboard, the F key, you can change the layout of your screen, as you see here, and how the panels are displayed. I'm just going to keep toggling through this by hitting the F command here. And as you can see that. Okay. Now, one other thing that's important to note when using Illustrator is that you have this thing called your window. Now, in your window, you can change the workspace that you have out here. There's several of them out there. Say you're creating web graphics, or you're using layout, so typography is important, or you're using painting design or printing and proofing. Well, I normally always come up into Essentials and select that. And we're going to do that for this project. Now, what we want to do also is to check our fonts. So we'll come over here to the T command, which is your type tool, or select that. And it'll come up here and show you all these different kind of commands across the top. Well, it's not really showing you what font you're using, but if we click on the character tab, I'll tear this off and kind of bring it in. Whoops, I can't tear it off. Anyway, it shows me the fonts. Well, the font that I'm looking for particularly is one called College. If you don't have College on your screen, you go to your browser here and you open up, in this case Chrome, you're going to open up a website called Dafont, DAFONT.com. Okay. When Dafont comes up, there's a section here called Old School. You click on Old School, and you kind of page down here and you see this one that says College, Freshman. This is the font we actually want to use. This is called College font by this guy named Matthew Welch. Well, you come over here and you select Download, and when you hit Download, call me over, and I'll make sure your font gets correctly loaded onto your computer. So make sure you know where the font is, and make sure you have College in your computer. The way you know that is you select this and you go to College. I want to see the key in COL, and as you can tell, I've got College loaded. I'm going to go ahead and select College for mine. Okay, so now we've got that. I'm going to go ahead and change my height down to about 72. I'm just going to click out here. So when I click out here, it keys this in. Well, I'm going to key in the letter R using the College font, making sure it's uppercase. And I'm going to drag that around. Now what I might do also is I'll scale this up using this right here. Okay, so there's my college font, as you can see right here. Alright, we'll stop here and come back to that in a moment.